All right, we're back live. We're doing this. We're going to do this hold conditioning live for Instagram. We are recording it for the Bella Be Good series because it really is part of that series. This is our second day of it. Right back up onto the freezer with her. I'm going to give her a chance to settle in again. Yesterday went really well, probably as good or better than I could have asked for. Again, I kind of thought it would with her because she has, I've probably put more of an emphasis with her on delivery and holding than I ever have with the dog. And actually, that's why it's so late in the process. She's already like 13 months old. So normally I don't wait this long because I usually run into some issues that we want to fix, need to fix, and use hold conditioning to help us do that, the formal process. But really it started, and I'm going to emphasize this much more with Bella because I never really emphasized it with other dogs. And in the videos and stuff that we've done, I think some people have this mindset of just forget about delivery until you do hold conditioning. No. Start paying attention to it from day one, retrieve number one, and shape and form it so that when you do hold conditioning, it's easier. I think it's neglected sometimes, thinking, well, we'll just fix it later. Well, why create the issue in the first place, is my thought. So we have spent a ton of emphasis on that with her, and it's paying off right now. So that's why yesterday went so good. One thing that we're going to do with her that I'm doing a little bit differently, and it's because I have run into this in the past with some dogs in recent years, is they get a little sticky and they turn into almost like a statue once you get them off of the table, or in our case, the freezer, and they don't want to move their feet. Some of them don't even want to move their feet when they're up on the table, or for us, the freezer. So I want to eliminate that with her. I don't want her to run into this issue where she gets a mindset that when she's got the dummy in her mouth and she's sitting, that she's paralyzed. I see dogs get like that. I've had some messages recently of dog does perfect on the table. Everything's really good. We've done it for weeks and now I take him off and he won't move. It's because we've had this dog start to understand that that's part of it. Well, that's not part of it. The hold part is part of it, but it doesn't mean that they freeze up. So I'm going to move her around before I ever ask her to really get good at holding on the table. I'm going to move her around and I want her to be free to move, because eventually I'm going to have her move with something in her mouth. So I don't, this time with her, I'm going to get her used to this movement before we ever incorporate. So this is just going to become part of our little bit of our session. Good, sit. So she's happy, she's comfortable, her body language tells me things look pretty good. We're going to move her back and forth before we put her back. We are going to put her onto the flat collar again. Today, the thing I did different was I put this adjustable leader collar on. I just had the leash on earlier and I just took the leash off of it. But she's got this habit. She likes to hold stuff. So she'll pick the collar up if she can get a hold of it. This is a habit she did all the time when she was little, and I never corrected her for it. She just liked to carry stuff. Come here. But today I'm going to have her move around with that on, because I do find, sit. I do find that having that collar gives me an extra layer of control, because she thinks I'm on the other end of the lead and I'm really not, but she feels the weight of it. So that's just a transitional tool that we like to use to get them from on lead to off lead, and we use this in between. It's just a slip collar that we connect the lead to. But by her having it on, it is a level of control, and she feels that. So she tends to respond really well, attention-wise and focus-wise, when she wears this collar. And so we've used it throughout, but eventually we're going to get rid of it, and we're going to have no collar, because that's the easiest. But it's a thing that we've been making steps to. So today I'm having her move around. Come here. I'm having her move around from spot to spot, and there's her little habit, picking it up. Now I don't like that anymore, so she's old enough where I can say, enough, leave it. And if we want to, we just come up here and just wrap it right here. Come here. But I want her moving with it on. Just, again, getting her comfortable with the understanding of this thing's not so bad. Sit. Sit. So we're just doing a little bit of kind of like heel work back and forth, a little bit of sit, remote sit, putting her a little bit on an island. She's out there kind of on her own. Good. Then we'll take this on and off. This is the exact same thing that we do on lots of Bella videos leading up to this, where we talk about putting the the collars on and off and not having them pull that head out and decide that all of a sudden this is a sign of freedom and they can run off. Nothing should change behavior-wise. So this is our warm-up for hold conditioning. We oftentimes do heel work to warm up for something that we're going to do retrieving-wise. This is our time to connect here. So I'm just going to set that aside. Come here. Now she should respond to me no differently with it. Just because the collar's off doesn't mean that she acts any differently. Good. Now we're going to put this flat collar on, and this is a change to her. So again, we're going to let her figure out how far she can go when the pressure turns on because she leans out or ducks down or does something. The way to turn it off is just to go back to the source of it. This is a lot like heel work. But you can see in her body language it's changed. Her ears are a little bit different right now. Her eyes are a little bit different right now. She goes, what? A little uncomfortable. She's stretched this out. It's not tight, but I have some dogs that literally pull this thing tight and they brace against it. She's not, but she's also does seem to be a little bit stuck right now. I don't know that she feels comfortable moving. And I don't want her necessarily to be paralyzed. I want her to be able to move a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can encourage her to move. Come on. And actually there, very good. She moves and the tail wags, and her moving this way just released a little bit of that pressure because she got closer to the spot where she's tied off on. Good. And so I'm going to just give her a chance to settle in a little bit too. Good. Good. And we've got some distractions. We've got cars in the driveways and good. But you'll notice before we were even thinking about putting the dummy in her mouth, the dowel, I'm going to use the dowel again today. We're going to use the dowel for a little while here. We're just getting her comfortable. Sometimes, I've had some dogs that we did this for 4 or 5 days in a row. This was it. This is all we did. Good. It's just dependent on how they adjust, how they settle in. Good. She's not 100% comfortable right now. And I think what needs to happen is you got to understand, in order for them to learn, in order for them to have stuff sink in and actually stick, they have to be comfortable. They can't be struggling to just get through like being there and surviving and then add the idea of now they got to learn something on top of it. They got to be in a really good, comfortable state of mind to learn. So sometimes that's the first step in this. Get her ready to learn. Don't be in such a rush that you got to put them in the position, teach them it, have them learn it, move on to the next thing. It's first off, if you don't get them settled in, they won't absorb it and hold on to it to begin with. So you're just wasting your time. Good. A little bit of noise, nothing major, no big deal. Good. Good. I can take some steps back and just leave her a little bit. Good. Now when you look at her body language now, she's interested. She's curious. I think she's wondering, what are we doing? What are we going to do? When she's thinking that, we can start to ask her to do stuff. If she's a little bit shut down or reserved, it's hard to ask her to do something and get results. And even if you do ask her to do something and she does it, it's not really holding with her. Good. Come here. I like that. Come here. I want her to move that tail a little bit. Come here. And have her move over a little bit. I really want to position her a little bit different. I like to position her right about here so that this can be real loose. That's the spot I want her. And you're going to see that by helping her put her in that position, now this pressure turns off 100%. And you're going to see, I think, her body language change too, accordingly. Good. Now she's kind of getting into this real feel of, okay, now we could probably do something here and it'd be worthwhile. That's my thought. Good. Let her explore a little bit, just putting her head down and feeling the pressure. Let her adjust to get comfortable. Good. Because for a while here, we're going to do it real stationary. When we put the dowel on, it's going to be, you just sit right there. Good. So I bring it out. It's not necessarily a bad thing for her. She does not. Yesterday went so smoothly. You know, I've had it, like I said, I've gone days before I ever attempted to do this. She's in a pretty good state of mind. I've had to wrestle these things into their mouth. She takes it pretty willingly. One thing we're going to do today is I'm not going to give her the freedom to move the head around. Hold, hold, good, good. Hold. So I've got my finger here on her chin and I've got my finger here. It's just a guide. Hold, hold. Now she's putting her head up to try to get out of it. I don't mind the head up. It's the head down that I don't want. Hold. Good. Good. Very good. Dead. 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 Very nice. So you saw her head go up, up, up and away. She's trying to get, she wanted to turn her head that way. And so today what I'm going to do is, yesterday I just put it in her mouth. I let her move her head around a little bit. Just eased into the day. But today, towards the end of yesterday, I used my fingers to guide her to look at me. And so these fingers kept her from spinning her head out, and these fingers kept her chin up. And so what I don't want necessarily a lot of weight pushing down on me. That's just bracing. That's like bracing against this. Ideally, what I want is my hand to act as this invisible barrier that, like when you try to take two magnets and put them together, you just can't get them to touch each other. If you push one towards the other one moves, but they're not physically touching each other. I want that barrier to be my hands to her head. So when I eventually go like this to her, instead of her going down and putting her head on it, her chin's going to come up so that I don't have to touch it. That's eventually what we're going to get. But in the first place, there's going to be contact, and I'm going to help steer her. And the whole idea is I want her looking at me. I want her focusing on me. I want her holding without fussing. I want her holding without chomping. I had someone ask about their dog is chomping and really wanting to fumble around with it in their mouth. And I said, well, you got to firm up a little bit. And in that case, I'd take my hand under and I'd put a little bit of upward pressure. And if I have to, I'll put my hand here and hold. Hold. And you hear how when I say hold, how she responded? It's because for about 9 months now, I've been reminding her to hold, hold, hold with the dummy. And hold really means something to her. She's heard it so many times. When she would drop it, hold. Well, that was all prepping for this. So when I say hold, she stiffens up. When I say stiffens up, like she holds pretty steady. So I would get that dog that wants to fumble around with it, and I'd put a little bit more pressure up, and I'd say hold. Hold. Good. And when they did it, I'd make sure I said good. And if they continued to wrestle and wrestle and wrestle, that's a battle they can't win. You can't lose that, or they're going to say, I'll just wrestle harder next time. So there is this point of them understanding that no matter how hard they fuss and fight it, it's inevitable that you're going to get the behavior you want. And the behavior is, and it might be just pausing for a split second once they quit fighting you. And then you say, good. Dead, take it out. And then they go, that's all I need to do to end this wrestling match is steady up and hold on to it. And he'll tell me good. Then you can start building on that timeline. But with her, hold. Get the gums out of the way so she's not pinching it. Hold. 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 As soon as I let my hand down, she turns her head. I've got contact on all sides of her chin right now. Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Dead. Very good. Now when I had it up here, I actually tried to let my hand down and release the pressure a little bit. And when I released the pressure, that's when she started to want to look left, right, left, right, left, right. It's too early. I mean, we're just not there yet. Hold. 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 Good. Hold. 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 hold, hold, good, good, hold, very good, hold, good, good, dead, dead, very nice. Now you saw that one, she tried a few ways to get out. The wrestling match with her is real subtle. It's real mild. Again, it's personality and it's what we've done to this point. But as soon as she did settle in and quit fussing to look away and look at me, I was pretty quick to let her know that's what we're looking for. Hold. 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 There we go through this whole rigmarole again. Hold. Hold. And we won't stop till it's right. Hold. Nope. Hold. Nope. 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 Hold. 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 Nope. Hold. Hold. No. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Dead. Dead. It's real subtle with her, but what I liked about that one is you could hear the happiness indicator in the back there, her tail. She was kind of having fun with it. She was getting a little excited. I don't have any issue with that. In fact, I want her to enjoy this. I don't think we need to make this into a militant thing. It should be positive. It should be happy. But that happiness and that excitement is what creates the issue with her running past me. She's so excited, she's so happy, she's so wound up that she loses the focus to deliver the way she gets scatterbrained, and then I have to get on her a little bit and bring her back till she delivers. So I'm going to let her work through that little bit of antsiness. She got real fidgety with her feet. She got real happy with her tail, which is not a bad thing, but it's real indicative of her mental state. And then we brought her, and then we got through that, and then we brought her back together, and then at the very end, when she settled in and held, that's when we got out of it. And so that's what our goal will be, is by the end of this, before we move to the next step, when we put this dummy in her mouth, or this dowel in her mouth, she sits there like she did at the end. We eliminate this bubble up of excitement in the middle. Hold. Because she just realizes it's futile. Hold. 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 Good. Hold. Nope. Hold. Good. Good girl. Hold. Hold. Dead. Dead. Much better. Now that one happened a lot quicker. It wasn't perfect. Her eyes were over here. She was a little distracted over here, but it was much better, and it wasn't this fighting. And when I say fighting, it's not real vicious fighting, but it's enough to try to slip out. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Hold. Very good. Very good. Hold. Dead. There. Very nice. Very nice. That was a real good one. Good. And now I'm just going to let her sit for a second and think. Very good. Good. And I can see right now in her little eyes, she goes, let's do it again. She's a little sporty right now. This isn't so bad. And I'd like to probably do it again. And if I can get one good one out of it, I'll be done. Very good. Now you can see she's shifted away. Just a little bit of pressure there. So I tap it and look what she does. She moves a little bit closer to it. Good. Good. And her eyes right now are really on me and going, what would you like to do next? What do you want to do here? Good. Let's get one good one. Hold. 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 Nope. Hold. Good. Hold. Nope. Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. Very good. Hold. I'm even underside of her chin. I'm just scratching it a little bit. Hold. Very good. A little loose with the dummy or the dowel. Hold. Good. Hold. Hold. Probably went too long and now I lost what I was trying to get. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Hold. Good. Dead. Dead. Nice finish to it. Distraction of a bird trying to get in the garage. Good. But we're not going to let it boil up and lose her right now. Hold. Good. Because she's prone to do that, especially when there's birds involved. She gets so excited, she breaks the connection with me, and she's all of a sudden doing her own thing. That's just her natural instinct that we have to get beyond. We gotta use it, but we gotta control it. Good. So I may have went one too many reps there. The one before it was the best. Now I go, we struggled, we got through it, we ended nicely. A lot of times people will go, let's do another one. And I think right now I just sense with her, we've done enough. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. Now the next one is a little worse. So we got to get a better one than that. And then the next one gets a little worse and you go, oh, I got to get a better one. I don't want to end it on that. And then next thing you know, you're doubled your time into it and you're really scratching your head trying to save something out of it. You're better off ending it a little early, I think, than just a little late. Because if you're just a little late, it starts to slip. Good. Good. So we can end it with this, pulling this collar off. And that's just another extension of don't allow the dog to get off the collar and just take off on you. Sit. Now she wants to get close to me. So I'm going to take a step back. I want her just sitting there. I don't want her necessarily needing my comfort right now. Let's just go from here to here, and then I'll give her a little bit of love and we'll be done. Good. And now she's real sporty again. She's going, let's do it. Let's go again. No, we're going to be done. And then she's going to go right in her kennel, her crate. And we're going to let her think about what we just did, because all morning she's been out on plays. She remote sat in our living room or in our kitchen a little bit while we were working on the computers, but now she's going to go right in the kennel and let that soak in. So under control. We're not going to go from this to laps around the house. I've seen people do that. They get done with a session, it's really good, and then they let the dog just go do whatever they want, celebrate. Well, whatever you just did is out in one ear and out the other, because the last thing they did was run wild. And so all of a sudden they get used to work real hard and then run wild. Well, that's not the way it works when we do stuff in the field. It's work real hard, do something, then come in and sit down. So now we're just gonna take her and move her into her kennel. Good girl. It's a really wonderful end of the day too here. Like, it's not surprising to me. I do think we'll run into some, we'll run into hiccups, but it's not surprising that it's going, this, I'd be real happy with this after about a week or two with most dogs. But I knew going into it, she's been prepped really well for it. And she's older. She's more mature. So she's still got a lot of puppy in her, but she's a little bit more mature. So that's it. Any questions?
Drive home, and I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned